fuck them. They're fucked up. Like they're tripping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they're tripping that they don't like me.
Yeah.
They're tripping. No.
I mean, it depends. Welcome to today's podcast, everyone. I'm here with
MDFashionco, aka Malcolm.
on our beautiful, what is it today?
Friday.
Sunday afternoon in Melbourne, Australia. And the people want to know, Malcolm,
Yes.
what do you do with yourself?
What do I do with myself? Well, I built an international streetwear brand, and I do music with that brand, and yeah, I'm famous to the point where I can walk around major cities like Melbourne, LA, New York City, and people will come up and go, "Oh my God, it's MD." And why is that? Because the art that I've created has just spoken to a deep level of humanity that is in everyone, and that's how it resonates. And yeah, I'm also a social media maven, and that comes with being a brand owner and a brand face. And so that means I'm fairly sassy with social media,
Yeah.
just like you are.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so using social media, I pretty much just propelled my art all around the world. And yeah,
Cool. Alright, first thing I want to know is how did this all start and how did you get to become such a streetwear icon?
okay, great. I think you can't create an artist. If you're not an artist, then you can't just be like, oh, I'm just gonna start creating now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think the art really comes from just me wanting to say something.
Yeah.
Always. Like I've just had this internal drive to always say something throughout my entire life, and I know artists will agree with me on that.
Yeah.
Like you don't just create it and then go, well, at least I don't. I don't just say I want to make something pretty. Okay, I made something pretty. That was nice. It's like
Yeah.
you go through life and then you just, well, this is how it happened with me. It's like you go through life and then you feel that you have something to say about it,
Yeah.
and then you just want to turn up, and like
Yeah.
and that's obviously why we resonate with Kanye so much.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I'm wearing Yeezys now, you're wearing Yeezys, but it's like that's what Kanye was about.
Yeah.
It was like, this is the fashion industry.
Yeah.
It's trash. Or it's elitist, it's trash, and like let's go in and turn this shit up.
Yeah.
And that's where 100% my art, especially the music, and I make this very, very obvious in my music, that it's saying something.
Yeah.
And what is it saying?
Tell the people, man.
Yeah, these boys, like just go watch it. Like these boys hating. And
Yeah. And that's the thing that I kind of like about your art is that you really have to experience it to understand it.
You
and
think?
then even then, you might not understand it.
I think I think if you've never come across a hater, in other words, you are just a loser and no one has ever hated on you in your entire life, then of course you're gonna hate on me.
Yeah, well, you've just taken no risks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Then of course you're gonna hate on me because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, what's he talking about? Why are these guys hating on him? I don't care.
Yeah.
Fuck it,
Yeah.
But it's like, but if obviously you're successful and people hate on you, then you understand it completely. You'll be
Yeah.
like,
It's a given, man. You're always gonna have haters.
yeah, but yeah, it's important to acknowledge it, but also so are you Christian at all?
I won't have to no comment on that one because
Okay, fair enough.
I'm still young, so
Yeah.
yeah. But I
pretty
do believe
much.
there is a creator, but organized religion is dirty.
Okay.
Dirty,
Okay.
dirty.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think dogmatism and ideology, yeah, like people can veil behind it to justify doing crazy things.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Go.
But okay, so in the Bible, the second story is Cain and Abel. Are you familiar with Cain and Abel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or not. Yeah, I know what it is. But
Okay, I'll just roughly
Break it
summarize
down.
it. I'll roughly summarize it. Okay, so two brothers, the son of Adam and Eve, right? One is Abel, one is Cain. Cain is jealous of Abel. Abel has no idea that Cain is jealous of him. Because what Cain has to do is he has to do the fruit.
Yeah.
Abel is a shepherd.
Yeah.
So he's got the cool job and Cain's got the trash job. Anyway, so...
And these jobs were given to them by God.
Yeah, essentially this is your purpose, right?
Yeah, gotcha.
Right? And we can draw the parallel between like a superstar and a regular factory worker, right?
Yeah.
This is what it is. And you could just, and the factory worker can hate on the superstar and be like, but the superstar has no idea why people are hating on him because all he's doing is doing what his purpose is, me.
Like winners focus on winning and losers focus on winners.
Yeah, 100%. Exactly. And it's just like me, like when I walk around, I just start dripping, I start shining so much. You know what I'm saying?
I see the gold,
Yeah, exactly. And I just do that naturally.
Yeah.
And people will just hate on it, hate. So what Cain does in the story is he says to God, he says, this is trash. Why did you give me this life? My brother's so much better than me. What's the issue? God says the last thing that Cain wanted to hear. And he said, Cain, look to yourself. You're not putting your best foot forward. And he wasn't.
Yeah.
He was doing trash at his job. You're not putting your best foot forward, So don't focus on other people. Focus on yourself.
You're in the position you're in because of you, dude.
Yes, 100. Exactly. And that's the last thing a hater wants to hear.
Yeah.
The last thing.
Yeah.
Look at that guy in the Lambo. What a loser.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What an asshole. And then it's like, how about you work hard? You don't have the Lambo because you haven't worked hard.
Yeah.
That's the last thing they want to hear.
Yeah.
So what does Cain do?
Because that's just like, I suppose that's the reaction from people that aren't making it. They just want to drag everyone with. They want to be in a
Misery
crowd.
loves company. And so what does Cain do? Do you think Cain in the story goes?
Did he eat him? I swear
No,
he ate him.
wait.
Yeah, this is where the etymology of the word cannibal comes from, right?
Yeah. Well, not precisely. It's he definitely does one thing, but before we get to what he does, notice how he does not go, oh, I guess you're right. Let me just focus on myself.
Yeah.
Hell no. He gets angry and he kills his brother.
Yeah.
And I imagine, being the person I am, the successful, shining, just constantly walking, people just admire me and all that. Being the person I am, I see myself in Abel's position.
Yeah.
Like, people want to kill me, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But it's like, I don't even know what I've done to
not
them.
physically, then,
Oh, they
as
definitely
a
want me to
personality
fall off or, yeah, because they don't want people rubbing it in their face.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you shouldn't mind if I rub it in your face. You should be worrying about what you have.
Yeah.
Don't worry about me.
You mean, ideally, you want to use it as inspiration.
Oh, ideally you do.
Yeah.
But that takes a level of IQ.
Yeah.
We're talking about dumb boys. Because dumb boys hate. We're talking about like a level of IQ.
Yeah.
It's true.
No,
Am
it
I
is
right?
true.
Yeah,
That's why I'm laughing.
Yeah. And truth is often correlated with
That's why things are fun. There's
facts.
always a little bit of truth
There's
in
a,
a funny
yeah.
joke.
All jokes contain true shit,
That's
to
the one,
quote J. Cole.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so Cain kills his brother, and then as a result he gets punished for eternity. But the point of the story is, the hater does not want to look to himself. He doesn't want to look in himself. He just wants to, look at other people. And every single person has a bit of Cain in them. You think that I'm just like perfect and like, no. We all have a bit of Cain in us.
Yeah.
And we have to
100%.
admit that.
Yeah.
We have to admit that. But the virtuous person, and that's where religion comes in, the virtuous, righteous person knows that and then works to counteract it and say, that's not the way.
Yeah.
That's not the way.
I think
higher IQ. That's transcending.
Yeah, I think even with that, I think that I tend to have a different view just thinking about it now, because if you have a little bit of Cain, there's all like universal balance of things, right? Like everything's balanced in
I'm gonna show you this.
in theory, yeah, yin yang.
Yeah.
tight.
All right. So half the I'll tell you about
Half is
later.
silver,
Yeah.
half is
But
tight.
No, it's not silver. It's palladium. So
Okay,
it's more
alright, we'll
expensive.
get on. To
Anyway, yeah.
What was I saying?
And diamonds in it too.
Oh,
You're talking about the universal balance.
Okay,
We're talking about yin and
so
yang. Yeah.
the Cain, I believe, is the thing that motivates you to like
Oh, it
get
does
angry
with me.
and then, but then the Abel is the person who knows what to do with that motivation. So
But here's the interesting
some
thing.
people have like 80% Cain and 20% Abel, so they become
Yeah.
bad, or like they become a hater.
Yeah.
And then it's about having that balance, because everything is governed by the laws of balance.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And that's the thing about yin and yang. It's like you can't have negative without positive.
Yeah, it's the
You
simplest
simply
premise,
cannot.
but like when you really understand it, it'll blow your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can use it.
Oh,
Because
for
then
sure.
you can push onto the negative to create the positive.
Yeah.
So the most simple example, and when building wealth, when building anything, I always use working out as an allegory.
Yeah.
And
sure.
so doing working out, that hurts.
That shit hurts.
But if you learn to love it, then
Yeah.
then it doesn't. But I'm just saying, like, you know, it hurts and it's difficult, but you know it's creating positive.
Yeah.
That's the most simple thing.
Yeah, even like if you're creating a piece of art, a lot of good art is as a result of bad situations. Like you can name any
A lot of good art, I would say all
good art. Damn.
All good art.
Okay.
I would say, you know,
I'd say
and that's the
90%.
thing, and that's why, but you just have to know, and it's like, all MD comes from a negative place. Not negative, but a place of,
Yeah, I think the word negative is too.
oh, it's too binary.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So when you say negative place, you don't mean a.
Because what is negative? Like, what is failure?
It's just
right?
the opposite of positive.
Yeah,
Like
it's,
that's what you gotta understand.
No, yeah, you're right. It doesn't come from that. It comes from a lesson. That's what it comes from.
Yeah. Okay. I like the way you put that.
It comes from a lesson, and life is learning lessons. And that's
Yeah.
why you should never look down on people
Oh, for sure.
who
For sure.
and that's something actually I didn't know and for a lot of my life. Like, because I would look down on people and crush people, but it's like, you were once that ignorant. At
Yeah.
some point in your life, you were once that ignorant,
Yeah.
and people probably shat on you when you were that ignorant.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you
And
kind
then
of
that
have to
kind
pay
of
it forward.
behavior that where you have the power to shit on someone and then you don't, breeds someone who's also going to do the positive things in their life. So you know what I mean? It just creates, it's a cycle. So yeah.
There's a big issue plaguing today's society, and I think you agree with it, and that is porn.
Yeah.
And boys should quit that. And I'm not going to talk too much about it because there's so much literature on it and shit, but we live in such a weird time where, like, dopamine, can we talk about that? Like how,
No, man.
yeah, how dopamine is like,
If we're going to link it to what we just said, then it's the positive behavior that creates the negative result.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And hedonism, just the pursuit of pure pleasure,
Yeah.
just for the sake of it,
Yeah.
eventually is gonna,
Yeah. And I've come across a lot of people that justify hedonism with, it's my life, I only live once, so I'm going to enjoy it. Like, why would you not want to enjoy life? But when it comes from someone like you who says that that's not the way to go, and holds that belief, and you can see the difference between those type of people, then what you're saying becomes, you know, physically embodied. So
yeah.
yeah, definitely.
I think there are two sides to it. So you can, here's the thing, if every single hedonist, right, if the world ended right now, like nukes, boom, everything gone, every single hedonist won.
True.
Does that make sense? They won because they got their cake
Yeah.
and they ate it.
Yeah.
Whereas I
That's it.
was just building my cake the entire time.
Yeah. Never got to eat it.
Right? I never got to eat it. So there is something to be said for that. So you can't look down on a hedonist, but again, it's balance. You
Yeah.
have to, and that's where the yin and the yang comes in. So
Yeah. I mean, even when you're trying to sell something, people profit off hedonism all the time. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, so
because you're selling, yeah, you can
pleasure.
sell
like whatever
pleasure,
brings dopamine. Like,
yeah, and the interesting thing is your brain doesn't know what brings dopamine.
how so?
All it says, so it
Just
doesn't
comes
know,
in with
it just
dopamine.
comes. So for example, if
Doesn't know
you're,
what the source is.
yeah, so we'll use a simple example. If you take heroin,
Yeah,
your brain, or at least your animal brain, which is what governs us a lot of the time,
for sure.
or at least we can't turn it off.
Yeah. autonomous.
Yeah, exactly. Every time you take heroin, it doesn't think, oh, that was a needle, that was heroin, that's bad for me. It just thinks, that's good, do more.
Yeah.
That's good, do more.
So you're kind of saying there's, in your brain when you talk about dopamine, there's
Yeah.
a bar, and whichever act gets the bar the highest
Yep.
is the one that.
Yep, and
is the
it
most
just says, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. And
Yeah.
and here's the thing, we are above animals. We're not animals.
Yeah.
Like, we are sentient beings.
Yeah, we've exited the food chain a long
Yes,
time ago.
yes, exactly. And to go back to that is a regression, in my opinion. We are better than that,
Yeah.
right? And that begins if anybody is like, because I had a lot of friends who are depressed. I don't know if you do too, but a lot of people have. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't be hanging around with. But anyway.
No, but like a lot of the times you don't know. So.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But also I have a lot of friends who gamble and shit. But it's like, the first step. I think a great way to bring your life out of a tailspin, and my advice to them is no fap. Why? Because it's that first step of saying, I'm saying no to my animal brain. No matter what.
Yeah.
I'm saying no.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
And then you can grow from that. If you can do that one thing, then what happens next when you maybe get up the next day?
Yeah.
You say, I'm not going to sit here and just jack off. What am I doing?
Yeah.
I guess I'll go for a run.
Yeah.
Oh, that felt kind of good.
Yeah.
You know, and it's all incremental, right? And that's, again, a lot of people, to get more into self-help,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know where to start, because
Yeah.
I hear this so much. It's like, because I'm so rich, right? People say, you know, when they realize my success, they go, well, what was your trick? What was your trick? It's like, no. How much money did you save last month? They say, none. I spent it all. Okay. How much can you save? They say, oh, I could save 90%, but then I would have to do this. No. How about you save $10?
Yeah.
Say $10.
Yeah. The incremental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But once you do that $10, then you go,
I like how that felt. I have more money now.
yep.
I wanna
And
do that
and there's a quote that Jordan Peterson said, and he was quoting someone else, so I don't know who exactly was it, but I'll just paraphrase it then. The people who have a lot, more will be given to them. The people who have nothing, all will be taken from them.
Yeah.
And I think
like
that's...
a shit example of this would be, you know that game Agario?
No, what is that?
It's like the little blobs on the screen, the circles.
Yeah.
Each
Actually, I
little
do.
circle.
Yeah, I know the
Yeah.
premise,
It
right?
reminds me
And
of that.
the bigger it gets, the more it's so true.
That's like a physical representation of someone's, like, anything, like bank account, physical, like gym gains. You can put any example in there.
Mentality. Like,
sure.
You have a winning mentality, you're going to win more.
For sure.
And it's so important to just get that ball rolling in the right direction.
Yeah.
And that's what Jordan Peterson says. Are you familiar with Jordan Peterson?
100%.
Yeah, like that's what he says, clean your room.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people say. It's like, and also shaving. That's a big one too. If we want to talk about men, a lot of boys who are depressed, like I say, shave your face. They say that will do nothing.
Yeah.
This is just my face. I'm just going to shave it and then I'll still be depressed.
Yeah.
And I say, no, just do it. They do it. Do you feel better or worse? Better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's like the 0.01% thing that gets the ball rolling, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because, shaving's a great one because it says a lot about yourself. It says, I am worth maintaining. And you can slip into thinking that you're worth nothing. Very, very easy.
Yeah.
Because in a grand sense, the world is so huge.
The universe.
The universe is so huge. You're a speck. 1 out of 7 billion or 8 billion, right?
Yeah.
Or I don't know how many people are on it. You realize how insignificant that is.
Yeah.
You can realize how insignificant that is, but it's not.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a person like me or you to have a big influence net to still have influence on everyone.
Yeah.
Because you could be kind, and that's something Marcus Aurelius says. You could be kind to one person, they could go be kind to the world.
That's like exponential growth of kindness.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But all you did was be nice to them.
Yeah.
All you did was help them. So, and that's again a reason why people should be virtuous and but that doesn't mean be weak.
Stop fapping.
Oh,
stop fapping.
Of course, everybody needs to stop that.
And
shit.
girls.
Yep.
And girls.
That's another thing I wanted to talk about. Perfect topic. Transition. Okay, I want to talk about girls because I think I'm going to say a statement here, and you can agree or disagree. If you're broke, you should not be chasing girls. Discuss.
Agree, 1,000,000%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because men and women are different, and that's a contentious thing to say. But
No, I agree 100%.
Yeah. But we all know it, though. Society knows
just
it.
from biologically,
Yes.
men do different things.
But
and women
everybody
do different
knows this.
things.
The people that don't are just trying to change the.
Yeah, I don't want to comment
world.
on the people that don't. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, then I will.
Because
The
the fuel
people
to the
that
fire. Man.
no. Okay. Well, the people
Go.
that don't, the people that don't just want to change the world so they can fit in it better, and then
Yeah,
they don't have to change and do the work to.
Fair enough, but you know what? That's their way of. Like, I'm not going to shit on that.
Yeah, you're not going to judge it. Yeah.
I'm gonna. What I said in the last podcast was we can have an opinion but reserve judgment, and that's a common theme I want to keep on between my podcasts.
Great idea.
Yeah.
And Marcus Aurelius, I was reading Meditations yesterday. He had a quote. The quote was, well, he said something about opinion. You always have the position to withhold your opinion. Yeah. You always have that choice. So if it's not going to do any good, then
don't say it.
Don't say it.
Yeah.
But
at the same point, there's a lot of things that people need to learn or need to be aware of that are going to come in the veil of a negative thing. Yeah,
of course.
So
I think
it is a balance once
again.
Well,
you say a lot of things. I think every lesson is learned from negativity.
Oh yeah.
Every lesson.
Yeah,
if it doesn't sting, you didn't learn anything.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, even if it's a positive thing. If it's positive, like, oh, I won that easy, you will eventually be like, oh, that was easy, and then you'll back off until eventually it's not so easy, and then you get burnt as a result, and then you go forward on it. But back to the initial topic, I think there's something Elliot Hulse said, and you can tell me what you think of this. You should either be a monk or married. Hooking up is completely pointless. Discuss.
I mean, if you were to say that to someone my age, they would. Or
even my age, you're like.
You're not that old, so. Yeah, they would have something to say, but for me, I haven't really thought about it, but I think when you explain it, I'll agree.
Okay, well, a monk or married is pretty much. You can do amazing things in the world, and if you believe that is your true purpose, anything that distracts you from that is pointless. Frivolous. But you can obviously be married, and what the idea of traditional marriage is that men and women team up. It's not a power struggle. It's like, we're going to team up and we're both on the same goal. People like Steve Jobs was not married. I think he was NoFap too, right? He completely...
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit. Okay,
because,
there you go.
well, how the hell could you want to change the world and then just go jack off like once a day?
Just quickly on that. I think the ideology behind that NoFap can be put... Like, I don't think it has to be NoFap, but in some point in the timeline it has to be implemented. That the thing that NoFap does is exactly what you said, get the ball rolling. So NoFap could be going vegan or vegetarian, or it could be making your bed in the morning. But yeah, we'll get back onto that in a sec.
Yeah, I think it can be anything, but it's a damn good place to start.
Yeah, because it's a high reward.
High reward.
So it's a good thing to cut out.
Especially in this day and age where dopamine is so easy to get. Yeah, but you need a purpose to do that, and it's so hard to give people a purpose. Yeah. If you're just depressed and the only happiness in your life is that, it's so hard to tell someone to stop that shit. They're never going to stop it. Yeah. Anyway, but so Steve Jobs, when you think about it, of course he's NoFap, of course he's celibate, of course he's not in a marriage, because it's like every single fiber of his entire existence is about changing the world. Like making things that change the world.
Yeah, and nobody... bestowed him with that purpose. Nobody's forced him to do it. That was his thing. Like, he can't wait for someone to give you a purpose, which is part of the problem with a lot of depressed people, in my opinion.
Yeah. But we all get depressed. Like, so we can't, it's like putting the moment
I've like, small periods of a little bit of sadness.
Yeah, of course. I think that's totally natural.
Oh, yeah, that's
balance. To be purely, like, in this, it's like chaos and order. To be purely in this kind of like motivational, just get money, just grind is great. But to a point, too much of it is bad. Because again...
It's mental to your health,
Yeah, again, you die at 90 and then it's like, what? You die with $100 million?
Yeah. So yeah.
And then what? It's like...
Then you die, man.
Then you die. And then the people that inherit your money just spend it, and it goes back into the system anyway.
Yeah,
that's the really interesting thing. So it's like, So then what's purpose? And then people have to get that. But I think you find your purpose not through having someone give it to you, correct? But also by trying things. So
For sure.
I was always into music, and I always did music, right? To bring it back to MDFashionco.
Yeah, I was going to do that as well.
Yeah. I always did music, and I always do music. And then, so when I had something to say in MDFashionco with all the people, talking crap, and then realizing that my vision was the truth, I instantly had the way to say it.
Yeah.
Because I had previously gone and done music.
Yeah.
Even though the music I was making was just emblematic of what I was going through when I was like 14 or whatever.
Yeah.
Which wasn't love, it was like just random meme shit.
Yeah.
But still, like when you have something to say, you still have it. So again, the only important thing is that you just keep shooting. You just keep shooting.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
And you just
it's just an experiment, man, and you got to follow what you like.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what you like, then you've lost the battle already.
Yeah. Well, I think if you don't know what you like, start something.
Of
Just
course.
start
Well,
something.
I said this I'm going to reference the last podcast, but I said to the person who was on here, I said, oh fuck, I forgot. Wait, give me 5 seconds. The fuck did I say? Bro, this is my mind. It always sucks.
It's alright.
Nah, but like you gotta. Anyway, I literally had it in my skull, and I.
That's fine. Okay, we'll.
No, it's coming. I said, what were we talking about?
We're talking about
It's hard to remember, bro.
It is. Well, the more you think about it, the more you think about it, the harder it becomes. It's like Jacques Lacan.
We don't go on another tangent.
No, it's not a tangent. Well, I mean, what else are you gonna do?
I don't know.
No. Is that not
okay,
emblematic of what we were talking about?
Shut up.
Instead of just. Okay,
I said, the things that you are good at are usually... Sorry, the things that you like are usually the things that you are good at.
Yeah, but... Of course, because you're putting the most effort into it, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing, but people always say, I don't know what I like, I don't know what I want to do, I don't know what I like. Like, you need to try.
Just
you need
do
to experiment.
something, yeah.
And then you have a natural tendency or a natural knack for something somewhere.
Yeah, of course.
Like, a lot of people preach this, and I don't know if I agree, but I definitely stand by it. Is that you're the best at something.
Yeah.
In the world, in the universe, in the...
Yeah, okay, so Marcus Aurelius says the same. I'm going to quote that because I'm reading Meditations right now, but he says that everybody...
for those of you that don't know, it's a book by a Greek philosopher from how long ago? Like
no, not a Greek philosopher. He was a Roman emperor.
Okay.
And Rome was like the top
and he was...
empire in the world.
Yeah, he was kind of the proponent of Stoicism.
Yeah, Stoicism,
So
And
if you don't know what that is, just look it up.
Yeah, well, Stoicism is about constantly remaining calm and being in control of your mind, not your mind controlling you.
Yeah.
And that is, of course...
Taming the animal brain.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Alright, go.
And, okay, so... And Aurelius said, every human has a nature, right? And what he means by nature is a purpose and a thing that you do in the world. And that is what you do. So, for example, he likened it to a bee. Does a bee sit around and do nothing? No. A bee just gets up, gets the flower, like the pollinates the flower, brings back the honey. Does he store more honey? No, he just does that. And he sees...
I've heard this, yeah.
Yeah, and he sees humans in the same way. It's like, you have your purpose, you know your purpose, and that's... You were talking about people who don't know their purpose. I don't know. That's a different topic. But if you know your purpose, what's the reason to do anything but that purpose? Really? Like, what is really the reason? Like...
Yeah.
And that's something Marcus Aurelius says.
Unless you center your purpose around like a faith or religious belief, then which is another problem because it's kind of like a prepackaged purpose.
Like, it is 100%, 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Religion,
it's like a lazy option in my eyes.
All religion is in my opinion is just a way to give life meaning. That's pretty much all it is. Like in a world of just existentialism, what can give you meaning?
Yeah.
But what I was saying
sorry.
about the nature thing is like... So Marcus Aurelius has this thing that I struggle with. He believes virtue is enough. You don't need money, you don't need a Lambo, you don't need anything.
I tend to agree with Marcus Aurelius in that
But
sense.
that's so hard to do.
But that's obviously from a person who's at the top of the hierarchy in his time
Yeah.
as well. So there might be a bit of bias there. But
Yeah.
I think the concept of having material possessions is something that will wear off on everyone eventually when you're like exposed to it. And a lot of people aren't exposed to it. They're just exposed to the TV that shows the person who's rocking all the jewelry and stuff like that. But I agree. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. And
No,
and they're constantly chasing the material things.
yeah,
And
but,
it's like,
but you were
once
saying that it's not just virtue, and I would say that I agree with Marcus Aurelius. But what's your addition to that?
I'm not saying that he's wrong. I'm just saying it's hard. It's hard to live life just based on virtue.
For sure.
Because you know, there's a thing that in the Jewish faith that's like the highest form of charity is charity that no one knows about.
Mm.
You walk down the street and you give 100K to a homeless person and you just walk away.
Mm.
Never saying it again.
Mm.
And that is so difficult for me. But that's a mental thing I have. I'm just constantly trying to show.
Yeah.
I'm always trying
Well,
to
I
put
think
my
you'll
best
grow out
foot.
of that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
But and that's the interesting thing. And this is something that maybe you can diagnose this in my brain. When I see like say a punk superstar, well, you use the lead singer of Green Day for example, right? Because that's just like a superstar, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't walk around with a lot of jewelry, although he is rich as heck.
Yeah.
He doesn't walk
Like
around with
Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeff
Okay, yeah,
Bezos.
sure. That to me, I don't understand. I always want to put my best foot forward.
Yeah, I see you, man. But I think
I
I think those people who are at such a pinnacle of I think the common thing between them and Marcus Aurelius is that they're at the top of their game, whatever
Exactly.
their game is.
Yeah.
And their reputation precedes them.
Yeah.
So I think once you reach the top,
So do you okay?
you'll see the same thing, and you'll be like, okay, I don't have to show off because what I've done already
I
shows
still
off.
will.
You still will, you reckon?
Yes, I always want to put my best foot forward.
Yeah, I think that's sort of a motivation for me, especially when I think about this, like, not a lot, but
Yeah.
I think about it.
Yeah.
Is that I want to work to the point where I don't have to be superficial or materialistic in any sense, and people still have that thing of respect. You know what I mean?
Respect?
Like when I rock a pair of Yeezys, it's about getting up on someone in that sort of hierarchy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We can talk about that.
Yeah.
I
mean,
but-
fundamentally, also because it looks fly, but
Yeah, but so the thing about me with Yeezys, contrary to popular belief, it was never about showing off. Even when wearing 350s, V1s, when they first came
Yeah,
out,
it was
even when that was a stunt, because they were so hard to get, and the resale was like 5 times the retail. It was never about a stunt. It was just, I love Kanye and what he stands for.
yeah.
100%. So I'm gonna rock what he is saying, I want to say too.
Yeah.
So when I put on the clothes, it tells you what I am saying because I want you to know what I am saying. Because what I believe what I am saying is important,
Yeah.
which begins with art. That's
Okay.
how
I fuck
we
with
make
that, yeah,
art.
that's true.
Yeah, it's so true, and it's like, but obviously you can look at it from another perspective and say, oh, he's just showing off. Not now, because wearing Yeezys isn't really a flex. Maybe it is. It's definitely not.
It's not as much as it was, but it still is. But
It
that's because
still
Kanye.
is, yeah.
That's because what he's done with it is try to make it available.
Yeah.
If he kept it like limited, it'd still be
But
the
that's not what
Yeezy
he
Red
wants to do.
Octobers. Then it'll
Yeah.
be the version ones, and then if he wanted to keep that sort of thing, he would just rinse and repeat.
But he didn't. He wanted everyone to have it, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, that's just him climbing that hierarchy.
It's true, but also he was always against the fashion industry and the exclusivity of
Yeah.
fashion. Like
Yeah.
he was just like, you know, why the hell do we have the best designers only working for the 1%?
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, it's like we should do the best shoe and give it to everyone. And I think the Yeezy 350 V2, in a sense, is a great shoe that anyone can wear,
Yeah.
right? And in a lot of situations. And so, I mean, it's great. He's a visionary in that sense. But
Yeah, for sure. Back on the self-help thing.
yeah,
When you said you have friends who are depressed.
yeah.
To what extent do you believe that you are who you hang around with? And
Oh, great question.
yeah,
Yeah, I think we are.
like I was.
I
I think
we are
it's to an
influenced.
extent, but
Yeah.
I watched this guy on about he's just a business guy, like for Amazon dropshipping. And I watch his content and stuff, and he says, he started whenever he wants to learn something new, or like dominate something, he pays the best person, like whoever's the best at it, he pays them to teach him, and he always gets a mentor, and he skips all the learning curve of failure, and he says that guy makes millions of dollars, and he also obviously there's a lot of fake people who do that, so they have to prove themselves that they're at the top. But he says, look what happens as soon as I start hanging around people who start doing numbers. I start doing numbers. If you're the fifth person who's doing numbers in a room, if there's 5 people in a room and you're the 6th person and they're doing numbers, you'll be the 6th person to do numbers. You know what I mean?
And also there's another saying, if you're the smartest person in a room, get out of the room.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're hanging around with...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's true. But also, I think it's easier said than done.
Oh.
Because how the hell... Because the people who most of the great, valuable things that I've created, I created in isolation. Like, I made it just by myself.
I relate to that,
Yeah, just... But it's true. Even with... To put it to working out, go to, like, the most swole, ripped, cut guy, right? Most of the working out he did was not in a group.
Yeah.
Hell no. Hell no. Because you wake up in the day, hey, guys, you ready to go work out?
Yeah. And
Oh,
that's
no,
why
you
when
have
people
work?
say-
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not going to then.
Yeah,
No.
for sure.
No.
That's why when people say, sorry, just to cut you off real quick.
Yeah.
That's why when people say, get a buddy to go with the gym with.
Oh, that's some bullshit.
Like, if you need someone to rely on to motivate yourself, like, it's a good start, maybe.
No.
Maybe.
No, because the presupposition is that you only
Yeah.
go to the gym with them.
Yeah.
So no.
Yeah.
No.
That's why you got to start, like, when you want to change yourself, you have to start with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have to, it's internal, and that's why there's that saying in Christianity, Jesus only helps people who help themselves. And I used to think, well, that's a bit dumb. What's the point of Jesus?
I got a really hot take on this, but I'm not going to say it on here because
Okay.
I'm not ready to yet.
Okay.
I haven't finalized the idea, but I'll put you on to someone who talks a lot about
Right.
the Bible.
Yeah. No, I
Remind me after.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But that's what the thing, like, Jesus only helps people who help themselves. Internal motivation is so important, and that brings it to a topic that there's a book called The Science of Getting Rich, and I told you about it before. It's like 2 hours, and I listened to it.
An audiobook.
Yeah, an audiobook. And it's so easy to be a cynic about that because that talks about manifestation. It talks about...
Law of attraction.
A lot of people say this to me. Okay, I'm so glad I get to talk about this right now. Okay, a lot of people say to me, Malcolm, you're just a manifesto. You just manifest it. Oh, I'm so famous. You knew me when I had 14 likes on Facebook.
I did.
I was saying I was, famous as hell, like talented as hell, right?
Yeah.
It's not because I'm manifesting it and then, then the universe is gonna do it. No. It's the same as working out. Me saying right now, I will get a six-pack. I will get a six-pack. And you say, oh, Malcolm, you're just manifesting it. No. I know the steps to take to get a six-pack. All it takes is time for me to do it.
Yeah, I suppose.
So why would
belief.
I say...
It's knowledge.
Exactly. Why the hell would I say anything but I will have a six-pack?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. I am a superstar.
Yeah.
I will be even bigger,
Yeah.
an international superstar.
Yeah.
You know that's true.
Yeah.
I know that's true.
Yeah.
This is not manifestation.
Yeah.
This is just...
I mean, I think it helps. I think there is a law of attraction, and you manifest. I think there is.
Sure. But,
I think you're using
But
it.
that's lazy boys, though.
But I think the way you just said it is the right way.
It's 100% true.
Like, you can't just attract. Like, if you say I'm gonna be ripped, and then
Yes.
you go and eat a pizza, you're
Yes.
not gonna be ripped. It's
Well,
gonna be used.
Obviously, but what I'm saying is, I will be ripped. Why? Because I am going to put the work in
Because I
to
planned,
get ripped.
and I
Ripped.
just-
Every single day I'm going to do 100 sit-ups.
Yeah.
No
But
matter what.
Even before that, you studied how to do it, and then
Yes.
you put a game plan forth, and then
Yes.
you followed that game plan.
And this is something and I read The Science of Getting Rich, and all I was doing in it was just nodding. The entire time, because I knew this shit already.
Well, you got little headphones, just...
Yeah, no,
People
seriously.
outside would have thought you were listening to music.
Yeah, no. I'm just like, because it's so real. When people say such real shit, it's so true. But I stumbled upon it by just being dedicated as a result of, there's no one else that's going to help me.
Yeah.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Because who the hell cares about you getting famous?
Exactly, no one.
No
and
one.
that's what a lot of people need
But
to
yourself.
understand.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a fuck about you, or like you're insignificant as fuck, and that
Yeah.
shouldn't be depressing to you.
No,
That should be motivating. That should be like, yeah, I'll show you.
Then I'm gonna show you. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, and so I was always manifesting this. Not even manifesting. I always just knew. I always knew that I am the person I am today.
Yeah.
I always knew when kids walk up to me or like fans walk up to me. You know, the first time in SneakerCon. Oh my god, is that MD? Like I just was like, I know I am this person.
Yeah.
I know it already. And another thing, when doing this, and this is something the Science of Getting Rich talks about, you need a specific goal. So if I ask you, and you don't have to say what the goal is, but I say, what is your goal? Don't answer. You don't have to answer it, but it has to be specific.
Yeah.
It can't just be, I want to be popping.
Yeah.
I want to be rich.
Yeah. There's usually side effects of other stuff.
Yes, but also you can set that, but you need a specific goal. Why? Because every single day you wake up, you need to think of that goal. So say my goal is I want to own a Lamborghini. Anybody can own a Lamborghini. It's not hard. It's really not hard.
Yeah.
If you save 80% of your income, not even 50% of your income.
This is just like an entry level job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anybody can get it.
Yeah.
And, or if you want to buy it on lease, you can afford the payments, right?
Yeah.
That's why and it's just that you don't want it enough, right? Because you don't want to save that money, and that's fine. You don't have to save up 50% of your income, then blow it all on the Lamborghini. In the same way, you don't have to save up 50% of your income and blow it all on, a watch. Or you have to focus on building your personal brand. You don't have to do any of that. But you need a specific goal. It can't just be, I want to be happy. I want to be this. I want to be that. It can't. It needs to be specific. And so a great goal is, I want to have a 6-pack.
Yeah.
That is so specific. And you just imagine and you think every single day what it's going to be like when I get that 6-pack. It's going to be lit, I'm going to walk around with my shirt
if you
on.
were to like give an example, a lot of people would say, I want to get ripped or shredded.
I use this
you
as
would
a great
say,
example.
No, I want to be able to run a marathon, or I want to be able to lift this amount. Like it has to be tangible.
It has to be tangible and it has to be specific. Maybe it doesn't have to be tangible, but it has to be specific.
Yeah.
So you could be...
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It just has to be specific. And that way, you can constantly think about it, and every single step you take will have to be towards it. If you've really... And it takes courage to say what you want. I know you'll agree with this. It takes courage to tell people what you want.
Yeah, it does.
But I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'll tell people I am a superstar.
Yeah.
At this point,
'Cause the second you
it's
start-
not even manifestation though. Like,
Yeah.
like how many photos of fans do I have to show before?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like before it's
That's an interesting talking point. At what point do you transition from, like, it's not, you don't get famous overnight.
Of course.
And
not.
this goes back to what we were saying before. You don't get rich overnight. People say, "What's your trick?" There wasn't one day where a billionaire got $900 million.
Yeah.
It was $2 one day, $3 the next day, $5 the day after that, and then maybe $3, and then he say, "Fuck, what happened?" And then he goes and
It's that
chops and
mentality.
changes the process, and then there you go.
It's that mentality, 100%. So when I, I'll give away some of the sauce then.
I wanted to ask you about this later as well.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm a very good negotiator. Very good when it comes
Is that natural or practiced?
Of course. What do you think?
No, I'm just telling.
Yeah. But like you, and then people have asked you that. It's like, how are you so good at negotiating and standing on your position? Through getting ripped off constantly. You really people rip you off, and then you go, "What
Just
the?"
optimizing the system of.
No, but then you say, "Well, what did you do? What did what did this guy do to rip me off? Fuck, what did he do?" And then you figure it out, and then you can do it to other people. But and so it's the same skill. And what if I negotiate and I get my value every single time, or I get like 90% of my value every single time? Then when I'm doing, say, $100 million deal, to use the billionaire example, I'm getting my value then. In the same way when you're getting it back in the schoolyard. It's just the same process. And that's why it's not overnight. But you people will only ever see the $100 million deal
Yeah, and
be like, wow, you got a $100 million deal. How do I get that?
Yeah.
What's the trick?
yeah.
What do I have to do?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Man.
you're not the person, you're not
It's time.
in the position to make that $100 million deal for a reason. Because you're not good enough.
Yeah.
To bring it back to girls, it's like the same shit.
Yeah.
You could get so butthurt that a girl is not talking to you.
Yeah.
Well, she's not talking to me, she's not talking to me. But then you level up in some other part in your life, and then you look back, and then you go, of course she didn't want to fucking talk to you. You were a fucking loser. Yeah. So again, there are so many parallels to these things, and that's why it's. I strongly believe that if you master one, to bring it back to NoFap, you master one, you master them all.
Yeah.
Because you can just apply the same thing.
Yeah.
And the only person stopping you is yourself. Period.
Yeah. Alright, I want to transition a bit. If you don't want to spill the sauce here, then you don't have to. But for people at home, what is the kind of, if I'm watching at home, I'm thinking about, man, I want to have those gold chains. I want to like.
Okay. All right.
So like you hustle, but how do you hustle, and what do you do specifically that, like, for me it's starting a YouTube channel, or
I see.
Drop shipping, or creating a course or an ebook, or like I know you trade gold.
Yeah.
Stocks.
Okay. Oh, so you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
so a lot of
you don't have to answer, but
okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll give some generic advice that is still useful.
Yeah.
People ask me with my business, because obviously MD returns cash every month.
Yeah.
No one can turn that off because people are just constantly watching the YouTube, constantly watching every day. MD Facts just hit 20K.
Passive income.
Yeah, passive income, right? People say, how the hell did you get in that situation? It's like, well, what's your net worth? And they say, nothing. I have nothing. So like, okay, how about you work on getting $1,000 first? Before you work on building this, and I know this will speak to you, this drop shipping business with $0 down, before you start all that shit, get $1,000, then get $10,000. And then you can start to think about moving that money around to make more money. This is...
Okay, I see, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so we all know inflation affects our money at 2% a year. To get technical, you want to get technical? Okay.
Go for it.
So if you have $100 net worth and $100, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
that means you have a $100 note in your pocket.
Yes.
Or in your assets.
Correct. Actually, I'm gonna
give me a physical example.
Physical example. I'll give you a physical example with just a bit of cash.
Yeah.
Because I've been buying some gold, so I don't.
You're just gonna go down the shops with that.
Yeah, I have. No, but I usually carry around a lot more. But it's just because yesterday I bought some gold.
Yeah.
A gold chain. Okay, so say we have $100. That's your net worth. That's all you have. You put this in your pocket. Come back in 1 year. How much will that buy you? It'll buy you $98. Why? Inflation, correct. It drops $2 a year. Now, $2 a year is not a lot of money. Why? Because if you work a job, you can make $2 very, 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 very easy. Is that like 5 minutes work? Right? $2 or whatever.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Right? So, at this stage, at $100, you were focusing on getting 1,000. But even at 1,000, how much do you lose a year? It's like $20.
Yeah.
That's still nothing. Now say you have $1 million. How much are you losing a year? 20,000. That's a significant amount of money. Yeah. So then you have to move it around, and then that's when you want to diversify. So what I'm saying is, when it comes to my wealth, it has always just been a consistent grind of just saving money, and then moving it into assets that hold their value. Whether that's property, advertising,
gold,
property, gold.
Yourself.
Gold's a great one, because once you buy it, it holds the value for, right? And it doesn't go down.
Yeah. Even if we stop using physical currency, like money.
Yeah. And or
it's like the OG.
Or a business.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Of course, the OG
for
Bitcoin.
People that are watching this and are very young.
Yeah. So my advice is focus on just building your net worth and saving, and just saving. And then once you get there, once you get to 100,000, for example, then you can start to think, Diversify. So I'm about 10% gold, 5% collectibles, 0.3% Bitcoin. Like I can give you the rundown of it, and a lot of cash. But I only really thought of that after I had a lot of cash.
Yeah. So once you start,
You just have to get the cash first, and then slowly build the other things on the side. Sure, but
But this comes from your specific goal of wanting to
be financially free. Yes, of course, but have enough finances to be able to say what I want to say, because I believe what I want to say is important.
Okay.
And that,
do you think there's a problem with that? That
What?
you have to, that you feel like you have to have a certain amount of money behind you before what you say
No.
sticks?
I think
Like, I think that's a problem.
look at my actions. At 14 followers, I was saying the same shit.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, 14 likes on Facebook, right? So, you know, I don't need that, but
Well, you
I
know you
want
don't need-
that.
Yeah.
I want that, and there's nothing wrong with wanting that.
Mm-hmm.
Wanting to create something amazing that will live forever.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So I think if you're not using it for an excuse, there's no reason.
Yeah.
But I never use money as an excuse. Have you ever heard me say, "Oh,
I've
Malcolm,
got
why
money,
why aren't you on
Yeah. I see.
World Star or whatever?"
Yeah. It's not because I don't have enough money.
It's not because I don't have enough money. It's because it's not a smart move.
Yeah. Even though you could technically pay them.
Oh, easy, of course.
Yeah.
Even when I was speaking to World Star, actually, I won't say that. Okay, but whatever. What I'm saying is, it's just not a smart move.
Yeah.
It's not worth the money.
Yeah.
So you just wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I've never said that money was the reason. And you can look at anyone who's popping now, like on TikTok. Are they there because they're rich?
No, man.
Hell no.
They're there because they're
Dedicated.
got tits and an ass.
That's another topic entirely. They young women
Or are funny.
yeah,
genuinely.
yeah. But young women run
And blokes.
everything nowadays. Like there was a debate I was watching. Are men obsolete? I think men are obsolete. I'm not joking. I think men are obsolete. Like neo-feminists do believe that we can just have like 1,000 men, and that's it, and we'll just use the sperm to remake
Populate.
the race. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because women are just lit now. Like they are. You can't
But-
deny this.
But would there be a big, if you're a TikToker and you're a girl and you're attractive,
Right.
would you have the same views if there was 1,000 men on the earth versus if there was?
Oh no. Okay.
3
It's
billion.
true. But it would negate. That's a great point. But if we're talking about having 1,000 men, we're talking about a society where
But I see,
women have absolutely controlled the
Yeah,
entire
yeah.
thing.
So-
So they wouldn't even need money anyway because they would just run the entire shit.
Yeah.
So it would. I think that's
Yeah.
pointless. But
Yeah.
but it's true. Like
That's interesting though.
yeah, I do think men are obsolete. I really do because
I'm not gonna say anything on that, but
no, I think
'Cause I
because
don't know, but-
all right, let me explain then. because I guess the current the things that have made that men dominate at is physical things.
they've all
Like,
been.
yeah, they've all been automated. Women are smarter than men from a psychological standpoint, from an IQ standpoint, and
On average.
yeah, and
But there's also a stat that says the highest if you're talking IQ, the highest IQ are majority males, but on average females are smarter.
absolutely, yeah. So and men have the highest outliers, but most of us aren't in the outliers statistically. Yeah, and it's just a really interesting debate, and it definitely shows. But I still think, even though women maybe have an advantage or whatever you want to call it, you can still, as a man, get to where you're going because there's just so many people not working as effectively as you.
Just as a human.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even have to bring gender into it because
You know what I
gender
mean?
really only constitutes
Unless you're on
procreation.
TikTok.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I suppose.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like, it's one of those things that like we want to believe that and we will work to make it
Like
as
in some
equitable.
aspects, it is very equal. In others, like biologically, men are just dominant, like
Yeah.
no matter what. But
Yeah,
because
but-
we've superseded these biological
Biological.
needs and we've supplemented them with automation, what you're saying has some
Yeah.
credibility.
Yeah.
But if there's like, if what you said is true or happens and then it's like female dominated, second you have an issue or something goes wrong, you're gonna need that male energy back.
That's
why you need that
wow.
balance.
Where did you learn that?
I just thought about
But you thought about it because it's true.
You know what?
That's
Actually,
exactly-
you know, dead set where
Where?
have you seen Money Heist?
No.
Well, in Money Heist, it's a Netflix show.
Yeah.
It shows like the chick, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
She gets into the power of the group,
Yeah.
and then everything goes to shit, and she's like, "Oh fuck!" And then she needs the guy. Like previously they kicked off the man who was like a real big egomaniac, and he like was controlling everything and.
But you need control.
But as soon as
yeah.
they forced him out, and then everything went to shit, and then the chick was like, "We've got to bring her back in."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I legit got it.
But
from.
this is 100% true. But in this very controlled capitalist society and all that, yeah, men are obsolete. But that's what they said in the debate. Camille Paglia was the one that said it. Yeah, she's like, yeah, once war happens, it's not going to be women running around like looting stores and shit like to bring food home. It's going to be men. So yeah, that's true. But still the argument that. Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway.
It's just something to think of. It's
Yeah.
not. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect you
Yeah.
because we're gonna get what we're getting anyway. But it's just something that it's just a topic.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to talk MDFashionco. So
Yeah.
I want you to talk a bit about your future endeavors and maybe even your previous ones, and give us a bit of a rundown about what's going on with you.
Okay. As far as future stuff, I was thinking about how to answer this, cause I don't want to say anything because it's important that I
Don't.
Okay, I can say something. I've not stopped making art, 100%.
Yeah.
And I am sitting on
Something big.
something.
Okay.
I'm sitting on a lot of shit.
Is there
actually.
a release date? for
No,
this?
hell no, hell no. Because I only release it if I feel it's the right time, and now is not the right time. Because I'm
Now is the time for personal growth, in my opinion. So that's what you're doing.
100%. Because I've
I mean, any time's a time for personal growth, but
yeah. But
now is one of the best.
yeah, but not even because I'm still working on my purpose. It's just you don't see it.
Oh, bro, you never stop working on it.
Yeah. It's just you never see it. So to answer your question, am I done? No, of course not.
Yeah.
Not even close.
No, not till you're dead, bro.
No. But not even with MDFashionco. Like that's what I'm thinking. It's not even like.
Related.
But I'm just.
So you're talking about
But
diversifying.
There's just something that I am waiting for. And with the people listening to this in like a year, you're gonna understand completely.
Cryptic message.
Yeah. So I don't know.
So if it's 2021 and we're still in quarantine, then scratch that.
No.
No.
I think we're still. But anyway, well, but just know that I love my fans deeply, and I have a lot more to say, and I will
Do you have
say
more
it.
to prove? Do you think?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
I always have something to prove.
Okay.
Because, I mean, proving is a tangible thing. So it's like, how many more gold chains can I get?
Yeah. It's like a form of currency. Even.
Yeah, exactly. So do I have something to prove? Yes, I always have something to prove. But just know, you ain't seen nothing yet, of course. And yeah, so as far as it's corny to when you see a rapper in an interview say, okay, so what's next for Hot Boy or whatever, and he says, oh, it's big, it's gonna be big, I'm gonna glow up, and then like in 3 months it's just like they just fell off completely because they had like one pop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like a boot gang or something.
Yes, exactly. So when you ask what's next, all I can say is what. I can't even say that. Like I just have to say that you are gonna know.
Yeah.
You got
you'll know.
You will 100% know. I think in like when people watch this and like a year or whatever,
That's the thing I love most about doing this.
Yeah.
Is that it's gonna be up here and it's
never gonna go down.
yeah.
They're gonna be like, man, damn, Malcolm was on that shit before.
Yeah, it's not like a fucking Instagram story or something.
Oh,
Like,
it's so good. Yeah, yeah. It's like a news
and like
article.
I can, yeah, I won't say that, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So all I can say when it comes to MDFashionco is that I have so many fans now. I will have so many more, of course, because I know how to get them, and I know that what I'm saying is of value and quality, and it's all just timing, and just know that I am aware that I don't want to say anything until I just want it to happen. To use the workout analogy again, you're asking me, Malcolm, so what's your plans for working out?
When are you going to get ripped?
Well, yeah, when are you going to get ripped? When are you going to get ripped? I don't care. I'm going to keep my shirt on for 6 months. Then one day I'm just going to take it off and it's going to be like, what the fuck? How did that happen? It's going to be like that. It's 100% like that.
I like that, yeah.
Yeah. But I will still, if you ask me, it's still... I think everybody already knows my potential. And they just don't tell me. Or you tell me, but it's like a lot of people know where I'm going to go and all that. They just, we all know.
Yeah.
We all know. That's why I'm here, of course. You know.
Yeah. That's the purpose.
Yeah.
So Malcolm, what do you reckon of the state of fashion in 2020?
Okay. The state of fashion in 2020. I think it's moved back to its niche. You know,
pre-Kanye.
Pre-Kanye? Yeah, 100%. Yeah. 100%.
Like, that's so sick to me that you can't talk about fashion without even talking about Kanye.
Nope.
Especially streetwear, but yeah, go.
Of course, because he made it.
Yeah.
But now, streetwear's kind of, I think it's kind of fallen off.
I agree. I think it's stagnating.
Oh, it's definitely stagnated. That's a way better word to use. Yeah. So you see, like, a lot of these rappers with, they wear, like, they're still wearing the same shit, like ripped skinny jeans, denim jackets.
Louis
Vuitton,
Gucci,
like...
Dior.
Yeah, they're still wearing the same stuff. And it's like, even Virgil Abloh going to LV was kind of just that. It was kind of just like taking the source from the streets, like that energy, and just putting it into traditional fashion.
Yeah,
and then
just making it the mainstream. It's like how a certain music becomes pop and then it goes back to whatever
exactly
it was originally called.
It's exactly the same.
Pop nowadays is like
hip hop,
radio shit.
Yeah, no, but it has a hip hop influence.
Yeah.
Like a kick drum and a snare, like
and before, like in the 80s, the pop was 80s music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in the 70s it was disco. So that's definitely what's happened with fashion, and it's still important to.
Are you still gonna pursue a sort of? Are you still making art in that
yes.
medium?
Yes.
Yeah.
I still have clothes.
No, I understand.
A lot of clothes
in the future.
Yeah.
Like, are you still focusing on that?
It's hard for me to not focus on it because I'm so everything I do.
Restarted.
Yeah. No, it's not a loyalty thing. It's everything I do, I have clothes on. So I will always be saying something. Yeah, I'm not doing porn. I'm an anti-porn though.
We're not even watching it.
Yeah, but exactly. Yeah. So I will have clothes on, so it'll always be a part of me, and I'll always be wanting to say something through that. But I'm not going to say it for the sake of saying it, because that's is where artists die off.
Ah, okay, that's tight. I see you.
So true, though.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
If Kanye started to say, even with the 350 V1s, he said, "Damn, that was my most popular shoe. I'm gonna remake those."
I mean, he kind of did, but...
He kind of did.
He didn't, verbalize it. He just
But he didn't re-release the exact same shoe.
Yeah.
He wanted it to be an evolution. Like, the V2 is an evolution on the V1. So... But yeah, he did
even
kind
with
of
those V2 colorways, there's fuckloads of the same ones, pretty much.
Yeah. And that's something...
But he's a baller, so he can do what he wants, pretty much.
Of course, but you want to always say, when it comes to art, in order to keep it fresh, you have to keep the hunger and all that. So, yeah, I will continue to wear fashion as long... Of course I will, but I will always just release what I think is cool at the point. And I don't think it's cool nowadays to wear like a...
I mean, no one's going anywhere, so...
Yeah. well, true, but also like to talk about the trends, oversized stuff, like really oversized stuff, is kind of out. I think.
Who decides that?
It's not. I don't think it's corporations. I think
they tried to.
Of course they try, but you can't control what kids think is cool.
Yeah.
You just
so
can't.
it's kids, the younger generation.
Yeah, it's the creative youth. It's because they look the coolest.
Yeah.
So they're always going to.
And that's why I think, just in a business sense, if you want to succeed, you got to aim your product to a degree. If you want to go major, it's got to be to a young demographic.
Yep. But that's obvious because statistically they spend more.
Oh, well, and they're going to be alive for longer.
Yeah.
And they're going to eventuate into what will become the norm.
Yep. Exactly.
If you're
And
thinking long term.
yeah, exactly. But that's on the cutting edge, right? But
yeah.
It's possible for me to always just dress how I think is cool. And then just leave it at that. Like,
and is there
I don't have to
do
follow
you have
a
a
trend.
set?
Because I would make a trend. You know I would.
You have.
Yeah, I have. Oh.
Yeah. But do you have like a?
Don't even get me started with the vitamins shit. Like and all that. Like.
And the cap.
Oh.
Yeah. The off-white.
Don't even get me started. See,
Should I put a picture up? I'll put a picture up.
Gosh, I was so far ahead.
Dude, 3 years?
So far ahead, yes.
More.
But you know MDFashionco, when it first came out, the clothes, that's why it made such an impact. No one had ever pushed a brand in the way that I pushed... No one had ever pushed a fashion brand in the way I pushed that fashion brand. Not even Kanye.
Yeah.
Because Kanye had music. Not even Kanye.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And my influence in fashion, streetwear, at that infancy period, or maybe that slightly mature period, but I don't like to talk about that because then it's like I'm looking back and being like, remember the old days when I was so influential? It's like,
No, we stay influential.
I am the same person as that, and I will continue to do that, but it's like, it's nice to remember that now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Clothes will always be a part of like what I do, and I just don't want to release it if I don't feel that that's
I mean
what I want to do. I want
we're
to
talking
say.
like you are your only artistic expression is in clothes. It's not. It's in
Hell no.
music.
Not even. It's even in freaking social commentary at this point, like my tattoo video.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
You haven't?
No.
It's got like 100,000 views on Facebook and you haven't seen it. That's crazy.
That's some research for me. That's some research.
Yeah,
I've
okay.
been focusing on myself. So.
No, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But still, when did I drop that video? That was this year. I think it was.
What is it about?
It's just about why I'll never be romantically attracted to a
Oh,
girl with
I did
tattoos.
say. Of course, I saw that.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry.
So
That was ages ago. That was like.
Oh, was it?
that even 2019? I mean, 2020. That was 2019.
it must have been 2019.
Yeah.
But regardless, that's that star power, right? The ability that I can just do that because I'm not.
Do you reckon all the girls in the area just went and got their tattoos removed as soon as that video was?
No, hell no.
And
Because
you don't want to do that
no,
either.
of course not, because
You
it's
just-
just my opinion. But
Reserving judgment by having an opinion.
and I think they will always. The reason they get tattoos is to be rebellious anyway. So if a person says that's ugly, then they're like,
It plays into their hand.
F you. Like, of course it is. F you. Or not it's ugly, but I'm not trying to be.
Yeah. And for context, you said that you wouldn't date a girl with tattoos, and you gave 7 reasons.
Yeah,
or
6 reasons.
6
yeah.
reasons.
Yeah.
And they were pretty.
Yeah.
Like you can't really argue with them.
Well, of course not.
But nothing you say can be argued
But obviously we do. We don't say we can't say those truths in society because it's
You
kind
can
of
say whatever you want. I'm of the opinion that you can say whatever you want, and whoever fuck whoever else says.
Yeah, but again, it's like the reason they get offended at something like that is because what I'm saying is true. If I walked around and said every girl who has tattoos is a Nazi, would anyone give a F about that?
You'd get a response, but you wouldn't.
You think?
You wouldn't.
It's so stupid though.
Yeah.
Every girl that has tattoos is a Nazi. Like
Like
it's just so.
I mean, people.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I swear. People. I think
Right?
that's. I kind of because people wouldn't
Right.
even give it the time of day because they're like
Of
that's
course.
so obviously untrue.
Yes. It's just like,
Yeah, I suppose.
well,
But yeah.
how many Nazis are there in the world right now?
Oh,
It's
man.
like, you know, not that many. How many women are there with tattoos? A lot.
Yeah.
So it's obviously untrue, but when you say something like, it's like a horoscope. When you say something that's like kind of
Yeah.
could be true.
ambiguous. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it means that they don't take care of their body. It's like, well. I mean, let's think about it.
Oh, it's fucking funny.
No, it is hilarious. And that video, yeah. So, yeah. So back to the initial point, it's like, that is the star power that rises above waves. It rises above cultural, what's cool, what's not.
Popular culture. Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I just have that spark.
That's sick. Yeah.
And that is how everybody knows where I'm going.
Yeah.
And even, of course I know, but everyone knows. Like I tell it to anyone. It's like, you know I'm going to be what I'm going to be.
Yeah.
You know. You hook anyone up to a lie detector.
And exactly, and it's not even like people will see this podcast and will say, "What an arrogant motherfucker" or something like that.
Right.
But it's not even arrogance. It's like
It's
as I said
facts.
before, it's like
It's
at
not
least I don't think
it's
that.
not arrogance, it's not manifestation.
Well, I think it is a bit because
But
I
I see
think it's
manifestation-
unintentionally manifestation.
You think?
Unintentionally
It's just facts.
manifested.
It's just facts though. But it's also facts that is put into practice.
Yeah, it's facts to you. However, at
But
the
it is
point,
put
like
into
when you had
practice.
14 likes,
Yeah.
it was facts to you, but it wasn't the reality. Would you say? It was.
Yeah,
it was
wasn't-
your belief.
Yeah, it wasn't as much of a reality as it is now.
Yeah, that's what I'm
But
saying.
yeah, exactly. True.
Yeah.
So you did have to believe it before it even existed.
Mm.
But that's how everything starts. You know, the first step is a dream. I was watching Arnold Schwarzenegger, like just random motivational thing.
Yeah, he's good.
Oh, he's great. He's one of my idols. But
Yeah, I want to ask you that next, actually.
yeah. So Arnold Schwarzenegger was like, he was like in one word that you would attribute to your success. The highest paid movie actor, 7 times Mr. Olympia champion. One word. What is that got you there? He said dream. Dream is the first thing, and it's so wishy-washy because if you're a lazy person, you can just think, okay, I'll just dream then. No. From
Dream
nothing.
is the first step.
It's the first step. When you have nothing, absolutely nothing, the first step is, I want this.
Yeah.
That's the first step.
Yeah.
And that is not to be understated, but also it's not everything, obviously. So, yeah, but I guess at this point, I keep saying things like Conor McGregor and they keep happening. So it's like, when am I going to be wrong?
Yeah. Well, if you keep saying it from the same place, then never.
I'll never be
Yeah.
wrong because it's
Unless you try, but like, yeah.
the only thing that can stop me is when I change my mind on what I want to be.
Yeah.
And I have not changed my mind. And I will continue to keep pushing that.
Yeah. Just back on the fashion thing really quickly.
Yeah.
In terms of what you think is in trend, do you have like a
Yes.
like does that change? Like will you always like what you're wearing now as an example?
Yeah.
You might think now this is fly, but in 5 years when you're wearing something different, will you think that's still cool, or will you just have moved on to the next thing? Like, is that still cool?
I can't see myself wearing oversized shirts.
Yeah.
I'll put that statement in the ground.
So do you think it's dependent on what other people are doing or the time frame, or
No, it's dependent on me 100%. The oversized shirts thing is because...
I think it's still to do with what's popping, because...
But are you going to speak for me on that?
No,
Because...
I'm going to say...
Oh, is that your opinion?
Yeah, for me.
Yeah.
I think the oversized shirts, like, or just anything, when they're really mainstream and you do it, it's not a statement. Whereas if you did it in a certain time period, it would be a statement.
In a certain context, if you did oversized shirts, it's a huge statement. If you're at a formal event and you wear an oversized shirt, that's a huge statement.
Yeah, so there's a lot of factors, but if we're talking just influence.
But I'm a creative. I create the wave.
Yeah.
So right now, I think health is so important. Like, health is wealth. And wearing an oversized shirt, you don't show that. Like, it's cool. I think it's cool to be in shape. It's not cool to be like overweight. At the time, it was.
I see.
Yeah. So. I mean, I create the wave. The influence is not what I do it for, and that's I'm not trying
It's
to.
just a side effect.
It's a side effect of just me being that hyper motivated, dedicated person, or in MDFashionco being that person that doesn't give a fuck what anybody thinks. You influence by doing that. You don't influence by conforming or looking at what other people do. Yeah. I think that's what it says. Comparison kills creativity. Very
That's
true.
actually a problem that I struggle with. There's a lot of...
I do too.
Yeah, like mimic. Like, I'm a good mimic. This is getting kind of personal, but...
This is very meta as we do a podcast.
Yeah, I'm a good... I started to realize it recently that I'm a good mimic, but I'm trying to focus more on making something original.
Are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
See, that is part of it, because I'm left-handed.
Really?
Left-handed
I think
people
that's definitely something
right,
there's a deep, like, historical...
Yeah,
there's a reason why there's a low proportion of left-handed people, because I feel like those are the people that start the shit. And like,
Eminem's left-handed.
Is Kanye?
Tory Lanez. Yeah, I think so.
I can't remember.
But it would not surprise me. But it's like
the left isn't it like the left? If you're left-handed, you think primarily with your right hemisphere.
Correct.
And your right hemisphere is responsible for creativity.
Correct. And the left hemisphere is responsible for logic.
Yeah.
Like logic, yin and yang.
Yeah.
Chaos and order.
Yeah.
It's as if the entire world, how we interface with the world, is split into two parts.
Yeah. Do you think there's a reason why there's, like, from me, when I hear that, I think that pretty much tells me there's a reason why left-handed people are so rare. Like... Yeah,
I think so. Because being right-handed,
I guess... I think in terms of people in control, they would have known this. If there's some sort of esoteric knowledge in there. Somewhere, there's some profound... In my opinion, from what I think right now in this time, there's something... There's definitely a... what's that word?
Allegorical.
No. Like, correlation.
Correlation.
Between being left-handed and fucking up everything that people in control want to have.
Of course.
Like, and people who are in control have seen that and been like, better kill these motherfuckers.
Do you know in China... So my mum is left-handed, but in China...
Shout out to your mum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in China, when she was growing up in school, she was forced to write with her right hand.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That exact thing. There has to be a reason for
point.
that.
There must be a reason. And especially in communist China, of course they don't want you to think freely.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah. But man, there's not a lot of difference between China and America. It's just like the illusion.
So interesting.
It's the illusion.
Wow.
Like if you go against
I never thought of
society in there's a lot of things in this.
Yeah. I never thought about that. That's a great point.
Yeah.
But
this actually links to that thing that I said before, which I'll tell you later.
But here's the thing. It's important, even in our own lives, to be chaotic sometimes. Like order and chaos, yin and yang. And I love this piece.
Yeah.
I love it. And but order and chaos, yin and yang, you never want to be... A lot of people say order is the best. Why? Because order's the best because, you can get a lot of money in order.
I disagree.
You're orderly... No, well, you can. So you can save more money. You can invest more money, take less risks. And taking risk is good sometimes, but it's not... It's risky. It's risky. It's chaos.
Order.
Exactly. Order, you can build things, right?
That's
but
what
chaos,
I say.
high risk, high reward, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we can use an analogy with, say, like part-time job versus working for yourself.
Yeah.
Like entrepreneurial work.
Yeah.
When you're trading your money for time.
Yeah.
Then you'll never increase.
But
growth.
You will never see the exponential growth, but you will see a gradual approach.
Oh, for sure. But
for sure.
Yeah.
That's the key though.
No, I understand. That's definitely a starting point. Like what I...
Things that are for sure are not at a glance good. Because you want your finances to be sure. Just like I am sure that of where I'm going to be financially. But in reality,
nothing's sure.
True.
And that situation today is, a testament to that.
And there's no way, no matter how much you're in order, that you will stave off chaos. You'll be thrown into chaos no matter what happens.
Yeah.
You could try and be in order.
Micro or macro.
Eventually, it's going to fuck you up, and that's not a bad thing. It's because then once you're in chaos, you learn so much.
Yeah, even like successful businesses, probably a high percentage of them have had their big break off a chaotic event. So, for instance, my previous guest, Alan Gukoglu, who runs Kickspan, who partly runs it, has profited off, especially with the Instagram tool, the bot or whatever you want to call it. He profited off it it was able to blow up because remember when Instagram had that algorithm switch up, 2018?
I do.
It's because after that nobody had access to automated growth anymore, and they were like, bang, we're going to use this chaos and grab this situation by the balls and then.
Exactly. You can't control Instagram, but yeah, he was in the perfect place at the perfect time.
And it wasn't luck.
Of course not.
For everything. It was...
Yeah, because he had to be there at the beginning.
Yeah, so preparation as well.
Yeah. It makes crystal clear sense to me. Crystal clear sense.
Yeah.
And that's why the only consistent thing is to just... Do. Because...
What you love, because you love...
because then eventually you're going to stumble into a chaotic event and all that.
Yeah.
But you can force it too.
Yeah. Do you see yourself with a wife and kids in the future?
That's a funny question.
I like this question.
No, that's a
Makes
funny.
people think.
It's a funny question in this context.
Yeah.
Because
The monk
when
being
people
married.
watch this in like a year, do I see myself with a wife and kids? Yes. No.
that's why I love this question, because it makes people think, shit. Like it makes it creates a much more profound thought in.
Okay, so here's why. Here's why there's no answer to that. Because love is pure chaos. This is how I describe it. Love is like falling. You know, when you fall in love, if you're falling and you have a grip on a rope and you know that the rope is going to break or fall, then you're not falling. What is falling? You're literally...
Nothing.
You have no control over where you're going. No control. That's what love is. It
Would you say
changes.
that's like life as well?
No. Because life you can
can
control. Working out you can control. Love is just something that just takes us and then just throws us into chaos where it defies all logic. Of course it does. And in order to define it makes it not love anymore. Does that make sense? So even if you start to define, love is when someone buys you flowers.
You can't categorically say that.
No, it is literally just chaos.
Yeah.
Right, embodied.
Yeah.
So if you say love is when he buys me flowers.
Yeah.
No, it isn't. It isn't. Because then could anyone buy you flowers? All right. Love is when he cuddles me for 5 hours. Yeah. So can anyone cuddle you for 5 hours? You understand? Like there is no way to logically.
Yeah, that's
do it. So you can't ask someone. Well, you can, but you will not get a straight answer in.
You won't get the real answer.
There is no real answer because no one can control it. Nobody. It's literally just, will you have a wife and kids? Yes, if I find someone I love. How do you find someone you love? How? Nobody knows.
Random.
It's completely random. So it's like so it's not so. I will say this. I'm definitely not freaking, walking the dog in the park and trying to find people. No.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Got you.
Because if it happens, yeah.
And a sort of common theme between finding a significant other and sort of living or being MD.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rejection in the process of growing and creating your own empire. How do you deal with rejection?
How do I deal with it?
Have you encountered rejection?
Of course, of course. I think there's no one that hasn't. Rejection when it comes to females or rejection when it comes to business?
Anything. They're the same, to be honest.
Yeah, they are the same. How do I deal with it? I deal with it practically. Very, very practically. I think, what did I do wrong? And then I work on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a common theme, which I think it was a Warren Buffett quote.
Yeah.
I think. And he said, rejection, like you shouldn't be angry when someone rejects you, or something in your business life has been rejected.
Of course.
Because you should be happy. I think Jack Ma maybe said this.
Right.
The guy from Alibaba, the CEO. Because that person is telling you that you're not going to be right for them, and then like it's a sign that this isn't for you, and you know what I mean. So it's actually a blessing. Is what
Wow,
yeah.
that's profound. I don't see it like that.
How do you see it?
I see it like, so the only reason I get rejected is because I wanted something, and then I didn't get it because I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
So that's why I agree you shouldn't get angry, or maybe you should.
I feel like,
but you have to channel the anger.
You can get angry, but
you have to channel it.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. So if say I get rejected from like a girl. Okay, that's a great example. A girl. And if you're lucky, she'll tell you why. Girls typically don't. But if she does tell you why, then you can work on it. I make sure to tell girls why. When I reject them, like I do, and I know this sounds so egotistical, but it's true. Like with girls, I definitely have not been looking for a serious relationship in the past, but a lot of girls do. So when you get into a relationship with them, and then they want a serious relationship, you don't, you have to say, no, because I'm not an asshole. I'm not going to lie and be like, oh, I love you so much, and then all you're doing is that. So it's important that I tell them, I say, I don't want to be in a serious relationship with you. Why? Because you do this, this, and this, and I don't find that attractive. That's not wife material. I make sure to tell them that. But a lot of girls will just reject you and not tell you why. So say you're in a club and then you just constantly like hitting on
I think a club is a good place.
Okay,
I mean,
well,
definitely on show, but there's a lot of
fake shit. Okay, true. Yeah, so you're at a bar and then you get
even a bar, but there's a lot of authority imbalance.
Okay, so in life then, you're talking to many girls and they all just keep rejecting. I'm sorry, no, but they never tell you why. And you have to go and figure that out.
I think it's because they know.
You think it's because they don't?
I think it's because they don't really know. Like they think they know.
Maybe.
I mean, not just girls, but everyone.
True. Yeah, I think nobody knows what they want. Truly. Yeah, that's Jacques Lacan says that. The same. Yeah, he says we don't know what we actually desire. But okay. But if okay, to get back to the initial point, how do I handle rejection? If she tells you what you did wrong, then I will work on it. That's how I get over rejection. But then by saying okay, I am okay. Fair point. I don't.
That's another barrier to success. People dealing with rejection poorly.
Yeah, but if someone tells you, but most of the time they won't tell you, so you have to go back and think.
Yeah.
What did I do wrong? Oh, it's because I was too nice. Of course. Okay, cool. So then I'm gonna work on that. And so yeah, that's how I deal with rejection, just in a very methodical and orderly way. Yeah. Like I just
like everything should be, man.
Yeah, I just think about, okay, so what did I do wrong? What do I need to improve on? I never, it's so dangerous when you get rejected, and I know you'll agree with this. It's so dangerous to be like, fuck them, they're fucked up. Like, they're tripping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they're tripping that they don't like me.
Yeah.
They're tripping, no.
I mean, it depends. It depends.
It does.
There are a lot of people who
are just
in a power struggle, people who are...
You're talking about
power tripping, and then they are the people that say that a lot, because when they get rejected, they're like, it can't be me, it has to be you.
Yeah, but that's narcissism. That's not good.
You're not going to grow. Narcissism is order. It's viewing the entire world as
and
you
order,
can never
order
be
is
wrong.
right.
Order is
right now because right-handed.
Yeah, but it's great if you want to keep the things the way they are. But if you're a narcissist and your life is not perfect, which no one's life is perfect, then you fuck it up because you're yeah. How do you deal with rejection?
Same as you, man. I just work
work on it.
You beat it.
Yeah,
it's just another.
You have to beat it. It's exactly.
Rejection is, say if you're running a hurdle, you come to the hurdle and you hit it, and you go, there's only one way forward.
Yeah.
And that's
not always
getting the materials to jump over this hurdle.
Yeah. But through getting the materials, you could find another goal.
Yeah. You could nullify the hurdle as well.
So there's a 48 law of power. There's 48 laws of power. One of them is detest everything you can't have. So an example is if you can't get something, you just can't. You have to completely ignore it. which is very interesting.
Mm.
It's very hard to do.
I fuck with that.
It's very, very hard to do.
Of course. Yeah.
Because it's like, ignore the elephant in the room. Like, how do you do that?
Don't know.
You don't. You can't. And that's just humanity in general.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I think my last question for you today,
Yes.
before we wrap this, is
Yes.
Have you ever had a near-death experience?
No, but I have cut my thumb on a mandolin like 3 weeks ago. Look how fucked that looks. And it's bad and it actually taught me something because I was just cutting a potato, right, on this mandolin. Do you know what a mandolin is?
Tell the people, man.
Oh, well, it's like a vegetable cutter, and there's a blade that's slightly elevated, and you slide the
Or
vegetable
salami or
over.
something like that.
Yeah, or salami or some shit like that, yeah. And into slices. So I was just doing it recklessly, and then I just cut with my thumb, and it went through the nail, like it's healed more now, but it went through the nail, and so I lifted my nail up, my thumb up, and like half the thumb was like falling down, like so I could just see inside, and I got 6 stitches, and
Crazy.
yeah, and so the near-death experience, it's not a near-death experience, but it threw me into chaos because it was like, I've never been cut that bad before, and I went to emergency, but it was like, I learnt a lot from it, and it did make me more,
Changed you.
it changed me to
Mentally.
it changed me mentally in the sense that now I have to be more, I have to go harder now, and I think that's maybe
Why is that?
because you realize,
like your chain of reasoning.
okay, because no matter how orderly your life is, like it happened in a millisecond. So much pain and like trauma essentially happened in like a millisecond. This could happen to anyone at any time.
Yeah.
And if that does happen to you, you will look back at all those times where you had that before your tragedy and think, damn, I wasted that shit. Because I was too busy fucking around. And that is what near-death experiences do.
That's what I brought it up for.
Yeah, 100%. That's what near-death experiences do. But I always had that to some degree because I've been so active and busy, right? So,
Yeah.
so it really it puts it into perspective. Like, you need to know about death.
Oh,
And
sure,
Stoics say this,
Yeah.
like in order to do anything, because it's like we're
You
all
need to
gonna
eliminate
die.
That fear of death.
Yeah, but also no, but it's how everybody motivates themselves, because there's 2 ways.
Yeah,
The
memento
first,
mori.
yeah, exactly. The fear or the knowing that you're going to die
Yeah.
is what that means.
Pretty much the shot clock on your life.
Yeah, exactly. And you either sit there and do nothing, or you say, okay, I'm in this game. I'm all in. What am I gonna do? It's like poker. I'm all in. You will die at the end of this. So you want to do something that changes the world?
But even if we put in the perspective of a poker game, you don't go all in at the start. You
No,
go all in when
you
it's
don't.
You're all in when you go all in. It's calculated.
Okay, so we'll see it like this. Well, yeah, but poker is like a game
in
of
terms
life.
of effort, you're all in.
Yeah, but poker is a game of life in the sense that we have different hands,
Yeah.
right? And with some hands, our hands can be shit, but
You can.
everyone wins with a shit hand. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger had a shit hand.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
But he played it correctly.
And that's a very high correlation between shit hands and success, because people know
Same
from
in
day
poker
one.
too.
Yeah.
What are the best hands in poker history? Is it when someone had the best hand and just crushed everyone? No, it's when they had fuck all
Yeah.
and they still won.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, man.
Because
I
you're
think-
playing the man.
Yeah, for sure. And you're having to be like, I have to play this smart, and I have to do what I have to do. Whereas when you get silver spoon, you don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so if we're wrapping up, I just want to say, if you're watching this, then you already if you're watching this, then you already know what I am. But I just want to say.
Speak to the camera. Go.
Oh, okay. All right. Listen. Okay. All right. So the date today is the 12th of July, 2020, and I am telling you, you have seen what I have done so far. What I have done, it's amazing, incredible, by myself, worldwide fans, worldwide sales. Okay, all that. I am telling you on July the 12th, 2020. You ain't seen nothing yet. And I know you're watching this in like a year, and you're saying, damn, he called it. How did he know? Well, I'm just working hard every day, okay? And you don't see it, but you will see the results and the fruits.
And if
I'm
it's not
saying
a
that.
year, it's 2 years.
No, it is a year. It is a year.
Okay. No, but I'm
It is a
saying
year.
for people who set goals,
Oh yeah, for you guys, yeah, but you guys are different.
the goal
I'm
isn't
special.
the be all and end all.
Yeah, okay, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's
Also,
not...
the mic cut out, so the card's
Okay.
full, so
Okay. Fuck, when did it cut out
I don't
though?
know. But it'll pick up on this, I'll switch it around.
Okay,
We are.
I'm so glad I did that. Like I put the flag in.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna go back and be like July 12th,
Go,
2020.
dude. Oh, sick.